Hello, I hope everything is going well for you today. I'm going to show you a practice that will help open the shoulders, the side body stretch, hip stretch, which are all the main areas that we hold tension in, tend to hold tension in. And I'm going to group that with some breathing. If you've worked with me, you're going to know that breathing is a big part of it and direction of the breath during a pose or adding movement can really help the mind-body connection, as well as calming the nervous system and help regulating the nervous system as well. So it's best to practice all of those things combined. So first, if you have a bolster or a pillow, I do not have a bolster where I'm recording this from. I am in Costa Rica, so I don't have all my yoga tools yet that I normally have. But as you can see, this is kind of a nice little substitution for it. So you're going to take your bolster or whatever else simulates the bolster. And first we're going to come lying on the back to get a nice settling in before we start our practice. So if you have a little bit of back issues when you lie back, you're going to sit just a little bit away to comfort yourself, or if you don't have problems with your back, you can sit right next to the bolster. So I'm going to go ahead and lie back. And my arms are going to be out to the side, palms facing up. And you have a choice. You can either keep your knees bent or you can straighten the legs. These are options. So just find what feels comfortable for you. And we're going to lie here for a few breaths, just to get ourselves settled and in the mindset to leave the outer world behind and just practice and give ourselves permission to hone in on calming and relaxing the body and mind. And we're going to take 3 focused breaths. We'll take some cleansing breaths, and then after that, we'll come back to our regular flow of breath, a few more rounds. So whenever you're ready to begin, you inhale through your nose and exhale through the mouth. And 2 more just like that. Now let yourself have a few more moments to settle after the breathing, focused breath that we had. Just come back to your regular flow breath. And inhale the breath. Walk your feet closer as you exhale. Pull yourself up, grabbing the back of your legs. And now the first few positions we're doing are for opening up the body like a warm-up before we come to some seated postures, which we'll be doing today. So this tends to be very squishy. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit here for myself. So you don't have to do this at home, but just adding a little bit here and making sure you have a pillow. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'll just put that. That's a little awkward, but I do need a pillow for my head. So we're going to get a side stretch in. So your hips will be right next to the bolster. Your hips will be right in the middle. So if you're right in the middle, if the bolster is about this wide, you sit right in the middle. It just helps with alignment and so that you're not falling off on the inside. And inhale the breath. And exhale to drape yourself over. Arm comes out. And my earpiece may fall out. And you just take a few moments here, again, settling in. It's important to allow yourself a few moments when you transition from one thing to another for the mind to catch up or the body to catch up. It just really helps and induces the relaxation and calm. So once you're here, go ahead and if you want an extra stretch on the side, you can straighten that leg and have your foot ready to have your knee rest on it. So you want a little bit of a relaxed position of the leg. And then bring your arm to rest on the hip. We're going to add a few movements here. And then once we do that, we'll take a few more breaths on this side. And go ahead and let the arm float up. Inhale the breath, reach all the way over. And exhale to let it float back. And we'll do this 2 more times. And after your last one, if you would like to let your hand rest on the hip, you can keep it there, or you can reach over and let the arm rest on the head. And just having your regular flow of breath. We're going to do around 5 to 6 breaths in this position. And now inhale and float the arm back if it's not already resting on that hip. And I just want to bring up something. If you have one side that tends to need a little more attention, always stay on that side a little bit longer. In my video, I will be moving usually about equal time lengths on both sides. And so it's important to remember to always adjust to what your needs are. So if you want to stay on one side, if one side's more tweaky than the other, then please do so. There are no hard and fast rules here. Place your hand on the bolster, inhale to push up. And we're going to move to the other side. Your little pillow. Placing yourself at the center, inhale the breath. And exhale to drape yourself over. Making sure you're completely on your side. And that you have this nice alignment here. And then when you're ready, straighten that top leg. Inhale the breath and exhale. And bring your hand to rest on the hip. And let's begin to float the arm. Inhale, reaching up and over. 2. Exhale the breath. And inhale, reaching up. And resting. And inhale. And exhale. And one more time, because I got a little mixed up in my explanation. Inhale. Nice and big. And exhale, bring it back. Now again, option to rest the arm overhead. You can always bring your arm back down to the side or on your hip, wherever is comfortable. And we'll take a few breaths here. Just your natural flow. And inhale to either bring the arm back or just inhale if your arm's already resting. And exhale fully. And place your hand on the bolster to push yourself up into a seated position and move your bolster to the side. Now we're going to start with a seated shoulder opener. And I'm going to give you a side view, a little bit of a side view here. It might be a little easier. So you're going to place your blocks. You can either have 2 blocks, because what we're going to do is bring our head down. So depending on what your level of flexibility is and how far you can come down or whatever is comfortable, you can start with 1 block, you can start with 2 blocks, or no blocks at all. I'm used to no blocks, but for our purposes here, I'm going to use 1 block. So you're going to take your arms, and you're going to interlace them behind the back. Then you're going to lift, try and lift them away. Inhale the breath, and then now exhale, bend the elbows and rest the hands down, let the shoulders come forward. We're just starting to wake up those shoulders, all those joints. Inhale and go ahead and stretch out away from you. And as you exhale, come folding forward, bringing your forehead to the block, and you can lift the arms up a little bit further if you can, even if it's just a small distance. And inhale, come back up. And exhale, fold forward. And lift. And inhale, bringing yourself back up again. And exhale. And resting on the block, and go ahead and lift as high as you can that feels comfortable. Shoulders are away from the ears. And now exhale, start to bend the elbows. Bring the hands on the low of the back. Let the shoulders just drape forward, and then you can release the hands. Fell out. Freakishly large ears. And so go ahead and let yourself rest here. And now walk your arms forward to frame the block. Maybe elbows are resting onto the floor. And now go ahead and inhale to push yourself all the way back up. And exhale. Now you're going to grab your hand and release your hands again. And inhale the breath. As you exhale, bring your hands to rest on the hip. You can see how my shoulder is pulled down. So this just gives a lot of space in the neck area and on the top of the shoulder. Those tend to creep up with all of the tension that we tend to carry in our modern life. And inhale, come through center, straighten the arms. You can't see me, but straighten the arms. And as you exhale, bend again and bring it on the opposite. Bring the hands to rest on the opposite side, giving some space. So now we're going to do that again on both sides, but we're going to add a little neck stretch. So we'll add a little bit there. So inhale, come center, straighten the arms behind you. And exhale, bring the hands to rest on the hip. And you'll see that shoulder, the opposite shoulder, away from the ears. So go ahead and let your head tilt to one side, and it just gets a little extra stretch. And just kind of letting it feel heavy. If the chin comes down towards the chest, that's good too. And inhale, come center. Outstretch the arms behind you. Exhale to bring it on the opposite side. Letting that shoulder drop, being pulled away. And when you're ready, you're going to bring your head to a tilt again, opposite. Just creating as much space as possible with that shoulder. Maybe let the chin come a little towards the chest. And inhale back to center. Bring the arms back center. And exhale to bend and release. And now you're going to straighten out your legs in front of you. We're just going to do a quick forward fold. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale to fold. First, lift the chest. Try and lift it. The toes are at attention here, so we have a flexed feet. Inhale the breath, and now exhale. Now let them soften. Let the feet soften. Let the back round. And go ahead and slide on up. And now we're going to get a little bit of our cow face pose and some side stretching. So have one knee at the bottom and the other on top. And that's totally fine if you can't, if you're somewhere in between. Just have one of the knees, if you can, in line with the heart center, and the other one can drape over, whatever is your level, right? Like I said, I've been doing this a long time, so I'm going to do the full thing here. So grabbing onto the feet, your thumb is right into the center of your arch. So you can even give a little bit of a massage there. We'll add a bonus. And start to circle in one direction a couple times. And then the opposite. And come to center. Inhale, arms out to the side, stretching those fingers. Energy is shooting out both sides. Inhale the breath, exhale, release one hand down and reach over. And same rules apply as I mentioned earlier when we were using the bolster. If you need to stay longer on one side, please do so. Always attend to a side if it needs a little extra, because each side is always a little different, right? And inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release to the other side. And some notes here. So make sure your chest is lifted, that you're not folding forward, but you're lifting the chest so that the arm, as if your first part of the upper part of your body was between two panes of glass. And inhale, both arms center. And exhale to release down. Hands behind, fingers pointed towards you. A stance between. A nice wide stance, wider than the hips, and just let your legs shift side to side. And come back to center. Now take the opposite knee on top. And go to where your level is, that you can find the most comfortable spot for yourself. And if one hip is kind of coming up, so you can see, like, if I'm crooked, then you would put something underneath your opposite hip to kind of give you a little lift so that you have some evenness there. And you can experiment with that. But even if it's a little off, that's okay. We're just trying to get the stretch in here. That's more important than trying to do everything perfectly. So there is no perfect way except for you. Everybody is different. So do your circles. Let yourself ground. And opposite direction. And come center and inhale. Energy moving out both sides. Exhale to release one side. And inhale, pushing yourself up through center. Exhale, releasing to the other side. And inhale through center. Exhale, sweep it down. And one more time, our windshield wiper. That was a deep hip stretch, as you can tell, aside from the side stretch. Let's just make sure we keep things loosey-goosey here in the hips. Okay, so now legs come cross-legged. And I'm gonna do a little side view here as well. So we're gonna do eagle arms with an added spinal flex, right? So open the arms nice and wide. And as you exhale, cross one elbow over the other, doesn't matter which. And then grabbing hold of the opposite hand. And if you need something extra here, what you would do, so I don't have anything right now, if you can't grab both hands, what you would do is the arm that's crossing on top, you would have like a strap that drapes over the hand through the thumb. So that when you come here, you can just automatically grab it with the other hand. So it's always the top hand that's carrying something for the opposite hand to grab. So just a quick little note. So crossing the hands, let the hands fall away from the face, just naturally, just allowing the heaviness to occur, which is a little challenging because this is a very deep shoulder stretch. So sometimes everything is resisting. So closing the eyes if they feel comfortable, or you can watch me first and then close the eyes. You're going to inhale, lift the elbows up. So this is more about the spinal flex than it is about the lifting. Exhale, around the back. Let the chin follow last. And inhale to lift. And exhale around. And inhale to lift. And exhale to round. And now staying here a few moments, a breath or two. Slowly let the hands release from each other, unravel the arms. Inhale to lift the chest, arms out to the side. And exhale, bring the hands right in front of you. You can walk them as far as you'd like, and then just let the head hang. And go ahead and slide back up. Now we're doing opposite arms. Inhale, open. So this time I'm doing the opposite. I actually remembered this time. And letting the hands just gently all away from the face. Feel that nice heaviness on the chest. And when you're ready, inhale to lift. And exhale, lower. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And let yourself hang out here for a moment. Slowly start to release the hands, open the arms, and inhale to lift the chest. And exhale, let them sweep down to the floor. Beautiful. So now we're going to add a few more hip stretches. You can tell that being in this position is a hip stretch. When you're moving in the spinal flexors, you might feel a little bit of the hips getting a little attention as well. So all of these things, the full body stretch, I guess you can say. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your bolster and come lying on the belly. And you're going to, this is what we call a half frog. So you're going to take your knee and lay it on, bent knee. And then the other one, you're going to try and move it so that the hip is flat. So you can see me trying to flatten the front part of my body onto the floor. And inhale the breath. And exhale to release down. You can stack your hands. You can bring your forehead onto your stacked hands. Or you have the option of just turning your head to one side. Just find a little comfortable spot. This is a gentle or supportive hip opener. And we're going to take about 10 breaths here. So just allow the body to sink in. Let the shoulders relax, the fingers, the toes. Feel the mat underneath your belly and your hips. And now we're going to do our gentle cleansing breath. We're going to inhale through our nose. And like we're blowing on hot soup, make a puckered lip and blow through. Just like you're trying to cool off some hot soup. And inhale through the nose. And blowing on hot soup. And 2 more times just like that. And come back to your regular flow of breath. And slowly lift the head. Start to bring your elbows underneath you so you can lift yourself up. And now we're going to the other side. finding that spot. You can bring it closer to you. Try not to have it too far away. I think it's nice to have it probably midway thigh. So it just helps with a little input there. And again, flattening the other hip towards the floor, the belly. And just let yourself sink down and fold forward. Find your most cozy spot. And again, we'll do 10 breaths here of your regular breath, and then we'll go into our cleansing breath. Just let the body sink a little further. Let that heaviness, that pulling towards the floor just happen. And the heavier the body feels just means the release that is happening, or allowing and giving permission to happen. And let's do our 3 cleansing hot soup breath. And inhale the breath. And blow, nice and easy and gentle. And 2 more times, just like that. And coming back to your regular flow. When you're ready, slowly lift, head first, elbows walk in underneath the shoulders, and moving to one side. And then we're going to come into our final pose here. You're going to take your blocks. If you don't have blocks, that's okay. You can just lay back down on this, but this is like a nice little added lift because we're going to add a little bit of a hip opener as well. So you're going to have your blocks as if you would lie your head on them, but instead you're going to lie your bolster. So it's at an angle here, you can see. And then you're just going to lie back. And it feels quite lovely, I have to admit. This is one of the yummiest ones. And just first bring your palms down, feet are flat. And take a moment here. And now walk your feet closer together so that you can start to bring the soles of the feet together. So you can butterfly the knees out to the side. So you may need something underneath the knees. Like I said, I'm here in a place where I don't have a lot of equipment, but just be sure to either put blocks or you can put blankets if this becomes too intense. But we're not going to be here very long. So if you're okay with this, then let the knees just fall out to the side. And now let the hands, palm facing up, fall out to the sides, a gentle front body opener. So we're going to add another breath. It's called a soothing breath, or what we also know as Shatali breath in Sanskrit. So what you do with that is you sip in like with a straw. So instead of like the hot soup where we puckered our lips on the exhale, we inhale by sipping in through the mouth. Filling the belly and exhaling through the nose. So we'll do that 3 more times. Sip in through the mouth. And exhale through the nose. And 2 more times. Once you're done, come back to your regular flow. Just allow yourself a few moments of relaxation. You can always bend your knees, bring your feet flat on the floor. You can straighten them out. You don't have to keep them in butterfly, and just lie here for a few moments, allowing for your whole practice that you just did to be absorbed by the body, by the mind. Now take an inhale through your nose. And exhale through the nose or the mouth, but your choice. I invite you to stay here as long as you like. But once you're done, you just grab behind the thighs and lift yourself up. And bring yourself to sitting. And then rubbing your hands together. And you place right at the heart center. Let thumbs touch the sternum, that bone. And then gently press into the hands. Elbows come out to the side. Gives you a nice gentle lift. And together, let's inhale. And gently exhale. Thank you for letting me guide you in your practice today. Namaste.